Preparing for retirement is no easy feat, and I'm going to give you some ideas on what to do to get ready if you have more than 10 years to prepare, if you have between 5 and 10 years to prepare, or you're down to 1 year to go. I'm Dan Leonard of Marathon Retirement Planning, and I'm going to give you some things to consider when I come back in a second. Welcome back. So if you're preparing for retirement and you have 10 years to go, some things to consider would be, first of all, check your asset allocation on your retirement. Are you invested too aggressively? Are you invested too conservatively? What's your allocation? How much money do you have saved? You can do some projections based on what you have today to what that would grow to. How's your mortgage? Are you on track to having that paid off by the time you retire or not? There's some different ways to handle that. How about checking your Social Security record? Making sure that you know what your payments look like when you do eventually start to collect on Social Security. And then finally, maxing out your 401k. How much are you contributing? Are you putting in the maximum you can? And if you are you taking advantage of the catch-up for those people that's available for those people over the age of 50? So those are some things to check if you have 10 plus years to go for retirement. Okay, so if you have 5 years to go, first thing you want to do is check your consumer debt. Pay off all your credit cards monthly if you can. If not, have a plan to pay those credit cards down so you are able to pay them off every month. The second thing you might want to consider is reducing the risk to your overall portfolio. Because with 5 years to go, you pretty well have it made already. So why risk it? Wouldn't you rather have something most likely to succeed than, say, highest possible return? Seems a little counterintuitive, but again, if you have it made, why risk it? The third thing is, think about what are you going to do when you retire? Are you just going to be cold turkey, cut it off, just you're on the golf course playing golf every day or doing whatever you enjoy? Are you going to have a retirement job? Or are you just going to slow down your hours in your current job over a little bit of time? So what does leaving your career really look like for you? Make the fixes around your house now. You know, you've got the cash flow. If you want to remodel the kitchen, if you want to do something in the yard, whatever that might be, do it while you're still working. You might as well do it if you're going to do it, enjoy it now. You're going to pay it off. So consider what is it you'd like to do around the house and consider starting those projects while you're still working. And then finally, again, max out your 401k. If you're not taking advantage of the catch-up, I'd say start putting more in and take advantage of that catch-up unless you're paying off consumer debt or some other kind of debt. So those are some things to consider if you have 5 years to go before you retire. Okay, so 1 year to go before you retire. First of all, congratulations. Some things you want to consider are, where's your income going to come from? You've gotten a paycheck for the last 40 years. Let's review your budget and your cash flow. What accounts are you going to pull income out of when you retire? Second thing to do is get an estimate for your health care. It's going to be a real cost in retirement. Today it's currently paid by your employer. In some cases, the employers will subsidize it. In other cases, it's completely on you. Whether it's Medicare or regular health care, if you're under 65, it is a real cost. Consider what that's going to cost you and how you're going to pay for it. Mortgages. Do you still have a mortgage? Will it be paid off in the first few years of retirement and then just go away? Or did you just buy a new home, say 5 or 10 years ago, and you have another 20 years on your mortgage? Is refinancing it something to consider? It's a lot easier to refinance while you have wages versus taking income out of a retirement account. So consider, is refinancing an option? And if it is, do it while you're still working rather than waiting till you retire, because it just becomes harder to verify your income. Then Social Security is another thing. You know, you've checked it a few times by now, but you're a year off. Are you going to collect it right away? Is that something you need for your income? Are you going to defer it because you get the delayed retirement credits? So what's your plan for Social Security? And then finally, what's your plan in general? Do you have a plan for what I would call a successful retirement? Are you going to travel? Are you going to do some projects that you've always wanted to do, take some time to volunteer? Or what is it? If you don't have a plan, now's the time to start thinking about what is it that you want to do when you retire. If you need help preparing for retirement, please feel free to give me a call, or you can click on the top box to access my online calendar where you can book a time to meet with me. If you'd like, you can click the middle box and subscribe to my YouTube channel for other videos about retirement. Or if you just click on this bottom box, you can watch a video specifically about saving and how much you should be saving for retirement.